97.3 The Fan listeners. If you're drowsy, sluggish, or feeling fatigued, you're about to get your afternoon boost with Tony Gwynn Jr.
Some days I am like, nah, man, nah. I just watched this other car in front of me let 3 people in. No one else is getting in front of me.
Chris Ello.
There's people on the other side with their arm. They're trying to drag her. I'm like lifting the gondola so she can get a little room to get out of there.
And Matt Skraby.
You're like, hey, I'm going to take the gondola. It's lighter.
Don't blame us for any side effects.
You thrilled our fans throughout the postseason with a great performance.
Gwynn and Chris are ready to go.
And Betty, as we kick off another week here, a manic Monday on Gwynn and Chris, starting things off here on San Diego's #1 sports talk station, 97.3 The Fan. I better finish up with the intro, because if I go too long, the show will be over. Welcome to it, Chris Ello. Tony Gwynn Jr. is down in Miami as the Padres continue their 10-game road trip to start the second half of the season. And Tony is getting ready for another one tonight. Randy Vasquez will be on the hill for the Friars as they try to keep things going after – I mean, all I can term that, Tony, was a great weekend in Washington. I guess if you really want to be picky, you could be upset that they didn't get a sweep. But hey, you win 2 out of 3, and the Dodgers and the Giants both get swept, so you move up in the standings. Not only that, you finally give Mike Shildt his wish yesterday. I believe it was a couple of weeks ago that Mike Shildt said, hey, why can't we win a game now and again 8-2? Well, they finally did. They won 8-1 and finally had a laugher, Tony, and that feels good after so many nails long.
Yeah, I think the exact quote was, it's not against the law to
right.
win 8-2 or something along
yeah,
those
right,
lines.
Right.
The Padres decided to take him up on the task, and boy, oh boy, it is. I know if indeed Xander has been listening to a lot of the folks out there that have been dogging him, kicking him while he's in the ground. He has to feel pretty good right now that he is contributing in the way that he is. I mean, the grand slam really yesterday set the tone for the rest of the day. I mean, how often have they been in that spot outside of the month of April, and they maybe have, squeezed out a run, maybe 2.
Yeah.
But to eat everything that was on the plate in that inning and get another one, I thought was exactly what the doctor ordered on that. And they were able to add another run in the second, 2 more in the third. And when you put up a 5 spot in the first, I mean, you don't have to keep adding the rest of the game. That's kind of the cool part about getting that many runs that early, is that it takes the pressure on having to add. And then you had another great pitching performance by Pivetta. And going into that game, I know there was quite some folks out there feeling kind of dicey, like, oh man, we can't lose this series. It's over if we do. Well, they put that to bed pretty quickly yesterday's ball game.
Yeah, I think I have another quick complaint now that I thought of it. If you're going to score 8 runs in the first 2 or 3 innings, do it when somebody other than Pavetta's on the mound. Pivetta doesn't need all that run support. I know Randy Vasquez is going to go out there tonight and say, where's my 5 runs in the first inning? And hopefully he'll get it. But, baseball is such a strange game. I don't know how many times I brought it up, probably way too many. And I got a lot of tweets and people getting in touch with me over the weekend, said, hey, Chris, there's your grand slam. And now there's your grand slams, as it turned out. It went on. They went. I mean, makes no sense. They went their first.
It's baseball. This is the perfect baseball analogy of what you're about to say.
Yeah, right. 100 plate appearances with the bases loaded this year. No grand slams. The last 3 appearances, 2 grand slams. Right. So that just defies explanation. But look, here's the reason that I keep talking about it, because when you get those things, you win. I mean, they win games for you. I got to believe teams that hit a grand slam probably win the game 90% of the time, maybe even more. So it was nice to see them.
Let's do an experiment. Skraby, when you have a chance, see what team has the most grand slams this year.
It's Arizona with 9.
So they got 9. Are they like a yard away from everybody else, or
they have 9? I have it written down in another
I know
piece of
you
paper
do. That's
here.
why I kind of asked.
I know they got 9. I
I
think somebody else has 7. I think it's Seattle.
Let me look up real
Cincinnati
quick.
And the Yankees have 6. I'm trying to remember. Here's the thing. You're right. Arizona's only 500 ball club this year, despite their 9 grand slams. But I bet you they're 9-0 in the games that they hit the grand slam, or at least 8-1. So anyway, you're right. The grand slam isn't the end all, but it sure makes everybody feel better. And Manny Machado keeps getting it done. But let's go back to Xander, because you and I have been on this for a month now, and yesterday's grand slam wasn't just a one-off for him. He's been doing this consistently for a while now, and I wonder if has he even said, has there been anything different, or has he just been able to stay the course and finally have things go his way?
I don't know that he's talked about it, but it's clear when you're watching it that whatever's allowing him to hit against the front side as opposed to being over his front side. Early in the season, he was rolling over those balls to the left side. It was like a automatic double play in a lot of cases. He's no longer on top of his front side or over his front side. When they show that side angle and you see him finish, he is hitting against a strong front side, and that allows him to get through the baseball as opposed to snap hooking that bad boy over the left field, over to the left side. And he's done that pretty consistently. It doesn't mean he's perfect every time, but yesterday he was. I mean, he hit 3 bullets. One of them, I think, got caught at one point, but he swung the bat. So, and to me, and I had been saying this and been looking like an idiot for a little bit prior to that, the evidence was there before. He was lining out a lot of hard outs. And those are the type of signs you start to see. And then when he has swung like gangbusters the last month and some change, the evidence is now followed up with what I thought I was seeing, maybe a month and a half, 2 months ago, as he was, working his way to getting there more consistently.
Yeah, well, his OPS has been over 1,000 for over a month now. So I know there's really no reason to even go on, the into the Twitterverse now and argue with the people that, don't like Xander Bogaerts. If you don't, you're never going to. So, and there's nothing we can say that's going to change your mind, but I think he's changed the minds of a lot of people. And, this has been a big deal. I mean, the Padres have gotten, I think, I don't want to say a lucky break because they're just doing what they can do, but nobody saw the Dodgers losing 10 out of 12. And that's what they've done. 6 of those losses, by the way, are to the Brewers last weekend. And so, all of a sudden now, you're only 3.5 behind. I mean, that's crazy. But I don't think if you're the Padres, you can change anything. And you'd almost rather somebody not even tell you they're 3.5 behind. Just keep on playing the way they're playing.
I mean, I don't know that this changes for the Padres. It changes for their fan base. It doesn't change for the Padres because that's how they've approached it this whole time, is that we're just going to keep going out and playing baseball. What's funny is that I don't know that you ever envision any team that's in the kind of tier that the Padres, Dodgers are in, where you like, they're never going to lose 10 out of 12. That seems crazy.
Yeah.
But I mean, every year there's always, unless a team just runs the gauntlet, like, the Mariners did however many years back, there's always a stretch of baseball where a team doesn't play well. It just so happens that this stretch right now is coming at a time where the Padres are playing a little bit better than the Dodgers. It wasn't that long ago where it was the opposite way. The Padres started to kind of falter. The Dodgers started to kind of separate themselves. I think that's how they got to the 9.5, whatever, 8.5 game lead they have.
Yeah.
But this is part of the 162 course, and so this is the Padres break, and they've been able to kind of close the gap a little bit.
Yeah, not only are they only 3.5 back, but because of the weekend results, they are 2.5 games clear now in the wild card, ahead of both the Giants and the Reds have actually have the same record as the Giants. But, 2.5 games gave you a little leeway, which you didn't have there for a while. One more thing on the Padres and the Dodgers, and I'm going to throw this out there for fun. Is it possible that the Padres clearly have the better player at shortstop right now than the Dodgers do. Padre fans would never believe this a month ago, but Xander we already talked about it, how good he's been. In the meantime, Mookie Betts happens to be in one of the biggest slumps of his life with the Dodgers. They've even moved him to the leadoff spot. They're going to, if they haven't already. They want to try to change things up, get him going. Another sign that baseball gives you things you never could expect, Tony.
I will say this, though. I think it's kind of funny that you struggle and they move you to the leadoff spot.
Yeah,
I mean, that just kind of speaks to the talent he has. You know what? You're struggling, man. We're going to move you to the top.
Right, yeah. But, I mean, he's going through a major, tough time, and the Dodgers are going through a major tough time. So
I know we got to get to our next little piece before we get out of here, but it was hard for me to watch him after that game talk about you. That is again, everybody got on Toddy, right, when he wasn't playing well. Did you see Mookie Betts yesterday after that game? Mm-hmm. That dude looked like he was been going through it for quite a bit of time.
I know.
And that just speaks to the point that when you are not playing well, Mookie Betts is one of the best players in this league. When you aren't playing well, man, this is a heavy load on your shoulders because you know why? They care. They want to play. So I just want people to look at Mookie Betts, who's by all accounts everybody thinks is a great guy. Remember that the next time a Padre goes through a little bit of a slump and they don't seem as joyous as they always are. This game is hard on you, man, especially when you care. And so if you're not smiling and wanting to be all uppity up because you're struggling, it's okay. That's kind of part of the program.
How much do we think is the sickness that Mookie had earlier in the year? Do you think that's carrying over?
I think it is. I mean, when he was he would look when the season started, he's got some of his weight back, but he looked, he looked
lost
sickly.
A ton of weight.
Yeah. So I can only imagine that's had some level of
impact on
effect on him.
Yeah.
Second thing, real quick, I was driving home from LA yesterday. I went up and saw the Rose Bowl, and for no reason at all. But I was listening to AM 570 on the way home, and I don't know who does radio, who's the play-by-play guy for the radio. I'm not sure of his name.
On the radio?
Yeah.
It's Steven Nelson.
Okay.
Is play-by-play on the radio.
Okay, well, they were very upset with how the Dodgers have been playing lately. And the whole way home, they kept complaining. And I was like, yes.
I will say that crew they go tough on them when they
really
are
Andy Paz dropped a ball in center field yesterday. He goes, Andy Paz is going to have to apologize to every teammate in that clubhouse. He's like, if they want to do something, they need to play better. I was like, wow, this is the home broadcast.
Hey, I tell you what, my man Kirsch looked pretty pissed off too after that game. He did. That's the veteran Kirsch that was like, you know what? I think I should walk away before this gets out of hand. The younger Kirsch messed up would have already known about how they messed up for sure.
Yeah. Well, hey, look, the misery, loves company. Right now, the Padres are not in misery, but it is fun to see the Dodgers going through some. And just on top of that, Freddie Freeman hurt his wrist in that series, and we'll see about his availability right now. The Dodgers could be ready to take on another hit. All right, Padres Marlins tonight. We'll see if they can keep it going. Before we let you go to work, Tony, and we get it ready to turn over to Sammy Levitt, you send us the strangest Instagram post I think you've ever sent us today. We would normally put this near the end of the show, but this is the end of the show. So tell us where did you come up with this, and why did I have to look at something that scared the dickens out of me, basically?
Well, one of my favorite follows, Stallion 8.
He's great.
His name is Jordan Howell, is his real name. But he says a lot of the things that I feel in my head when I'm watching the Discovery Channel or something like that. He often posts video from, it's usually Australia, where it's like anybody, what's the movie, the spider movie back in the day? Arachnophobia.
Oh, yeah.
You remember how big those spiders were?
Yeah.
Well, apparently they have those size spiders in Australia. And they'll be hanging out on the wall somewhere. And he comments on it all the time of basically why would you ever want to be in a place where these animals were? One of the ones he recently posted was of a couple, I think, that was at an Airbnb in Costa Rica. And I don't know if you call this thing a roach, a dragon.
I think it was a small dog.
I was going to say a horse.
I don't know what it was, but it was just kicking it on the pillow. It looked like it was like time to go to bedtime. And this thing was posted up on the pillow. And of course, and what happens in the movies all the time is when they are, even when somebody's taking a picture, right? That thing will fly at the camera. So of course, I jumped and dropped my phone. I had to send it to you guys. And the only reason why I sent it to you guys is because a gentleman by the name of Sid Meister 13 told me we better mention this on Gwynn and Chris because all I put was in the caption was hell nah, and I had the sprinter emoji guy running.
All right,
because that's what I would have been doing.
I have it. So here is Jordan the Stallion 8.
Look how big that thing is.
Oh. That thing is massive.
I'm sorry. Come here. Back it up. You are so close right now. I'm on a road trip. And my friend was watching this and showed me it. I had to pull over just to collect my thoughts. People are asking, oh my God, what type of bug is this? Come back around here. That's a dinosaur. That's a dinosaur. People are like, oh, where is this located? That's Jurassic Park. I'm certain at this point. You know what I'm saying? And here's the thing. People are like, oh, how did the bug get into the building? That's the landlord. That's the owner of the building. I'm certain. Does that make sense? And here's the thing. With bugs, it doesn't matter what kind of bug it is. The bug will always fly in the direction that you do not want it to, which is in fact towards you. Does that make sense? And the one thing I've learned from all of this is this: I will not leave my house ever again at that point, because I don't think I've ever seen a bug of that size, nor do I ever want to.
No, it's enough to keep all of us away from Costa Rica for the rest of time.
Real.
There's absolutely no question.
You need to go check him out though, because he has so many videos and he's so funny.
He actually was at a Padre game last year, and I was like, yo, and so I DM'd him. And he responded back, and we were supposed to kind of get together, and it didn't happen yet. But it's going to happen at some point.
That's Tony's, like, Tony gets starstruck by
It's good to see
Stallion.
Tony find something out there
that's amazing.
that gets him fired up.
You know
like
what?
that.
Should I try to get him on the show just for the heck
That
of it?
would be great.
All
You should
right.
try to get him on the show.
I think you should try to get that
I know
roach
he's a
on
big
the show.
Padre fan, so yeah.
Get the roach on it. Hello, Mr. Roach.
Call the roach's agent, see if you can get him to come in.
That roach probably has a voice and can't talk as big as it was.
This is the biggest roach in the history.
Oh,
All right,
great.
with that, Tony goes to work now in Miami in the heat
Where
and humidity.
there are huge bugs.
They are, but Dave Marcus will protect him, and we'll come back and finish things up and get you ready for Sam Levitt's pregame show on Gwynn and Chris, a short one today on San Diego's #1 sports talk station, 97.3 The Fan.
Ladies and gentlemen, Manny Machado has joined the show. Manny, welcome. How are you, my friend?
I'm good.
I guess we got to start with the most important part. I mean, you reached a pretty big milestone, hit 2,000. You had 2004 now. You hit 350 early in the year. I mean, at what point in the offseason, at what point at all does this start to become something that you're actually thinking about? Because, I mean, that's a lot of hits, man. You ain't thinking about that from the beginning.
I knew the 3,000 was coming. I mean, I knew both of them going into the season where I was at, how many I was missing to get to those milestones. But thinking about it, I mean, right to like when you got 2 hits left, I'm not gonna lie, I've been searching for those 2 hits for a while, and man, I said it earlier this week. I mean, it's really hard to get a hit in the big leagues.
Yeah,
and that made me realize that just looking for those 2 hits, you're you know, I mean, the ones before have come. I mean, I hit 3 yesterday. That was, you know, it kind of just came. But when you're searching for it, when you want to hit those 2 hits, man, it's really hard. But you know, finally you get it, and it's kind of like, all right, let's go. Now it's kind of let's get it past it and enjoy it.
Did it weigh on you as you got closer? I mean, you started about 100 away when you came into the
100.
season. Did it weigh on you as you started to get closer?
No, not really. I think when it got really close, I think when it was when it kind of started thinking about it, the last couple, you know, and then it didn't help that I kind of got into a little funk going into, you know, Cincinnati and Philadelphia. I'm like, man, those are the 2 places that you want to get hot. I'm like, all right, I'm good. I'm going to these 2 places, get a few homers, get a few knocks, you know, hopefully, get it done on the road, and then you go to Cincy, we get almost no hit by Nick, and then that whole road trip kind of just went to spiral, and I couldn't really get it. But you know what? I think everything happens for a reason.
Yep.
It kind of felt good to do it in front of the home crowd and get the standing ovation and do it in front of the people that support you every single day. So I think it kind of worked out even better.
Talking to Manny Machado here on 97.3 The Fan for Friar Friday. And one of the things I love about you is that you love the game and the history of the game and the history behind the stats and all that stuff. And do you ever get to stop and think about 40 years from now, 30, 40 years from now? I know I'm going to be telling my unborn grandchildren that I'm sitting here interviewing you right now because I think you're going to be in the Hall of Fame. But do you ever give yourself the ability to stop and think about how you're going to be remembered?
Not really, honestly. Not really. I love living in the moment. I people ask me, how's it feel to hit 2,000 hits? Were you even thinking about that? And honestly, I kind of don't even want to reflect on it yet. I think I kind of want to wait for that and kind of look back and really realize, how cool all of this is. I kind of that's how I live life. I like living in the moment. I just enjoy every single day I come. Today's a brand new day, put yesterday in the past and enjoy what's today going to bring us. Right. And, I kind of just try to live by that way. But hopefully, one day I definitely want to look back. I know they're pretty cool numbers. They're pretty cool things I've been doing so far. But I kind of just want to keep living in the moment for a little bit more.
How long can you see yourself playing in your 40s?
I mean, I got no choice. I got no choice.
Deeper into your 40s, can you see yourself?
I mean, how this game is going, probably not. But yeah, I'm gonna try to. I mean, look, there's two sides of things, right? There's obviously I'm gonna be a little bit older. The game's gonna be younger. Game's probably gonna be faster. I mean, when I came up 10 years ago, I mean it was average. You had two guys in the bullpen throwing 96.
Right.
I mean, you have two guys throwing 96 now, and everybody else is throwing harder than that.
Right.
That's the lowest now at this point. So, is the game going to be at that level when I'm in the 40s? Who knows? But on the flip side of that, I mean, there's going to be technology. There's going to be stuff that you can do a lot better to take care of your body a lot better. You're going to be able to recover faster. And I think, me knowing myself, I'm probably going to be ahead of that curve on trying to take care of my body as best as I can.
Talking to Manny Machado here on Friar Friday, 97.3 The Fan. And I want to know, because you hit number 2000, was a hard hit single. Number 2001, a homer. Would you have switched those in your mind, or are you happy with how it played out?
No, I think I'm good how it played out.
Okay.
Quick note here. Grab your clubs, your golf clubs, tee off for a great cause. The 4th annual Salute to Heroes charity golf tournament coming up in a week. July 28th. It says Sunday, July 28th.
You know what?
And that's not right.
I got blamed
Monday,
for this
July 21st.
I know. I got blamed for this by the listeners, but we have been told to read what we're given.
We're reading what we're given. Well, I can't read that because I know next Monday will be the 28th. So it's got to be this Sunday.
Give me the website, Chris. It's probably at the bottom.
Yeah, it's not here.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, it's either Sunday or Monday. At the stunning
It's
Loma,
Monday. It's Monday.
It is Monday.
Yeah.
All right. So Monday, July 20th, a week from today, Loma Santa Fe Country Club. A day of golf, food, prizes, and camaraderie. All to honor our local heroes, support veterans programs. Register today at San Diego socialleagues.org. I guess that's the website you were looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Next Monday, July 28th, Loma Santa Fe Country Club, the 4th annual Salute to Heroes charity golf tournament. Let's golf for those who gave it all. Celebrities include former Padre Greg Vaughn, Arabian Prince, Olden Polynice from the old NBA star, Zab Judah, 6-time world champ. More to be announced next Monday. Had to do a little editing on the fly there, Skrabe.
Yeah, I completely forgot to let the powers that be know that was in there. So.
Randy Vasquez starts today. Reports say that Stephen Kolek will be called up to make the start tomorrow. The Padres currently have a TBA listed there for game 2 in Miami. Yuri Perez, right-hander, is having a really good season for the Marlins. You don't know a lot about him, but he's got a 3.18 ERA. He'll pitch against the suddenly potent Padres lineup tonight. They scored 8 runs in one game. We're like, ready to throw a parade for them.
Well, it just is so rare this season.
Well, it seems like the 21-0 game was the last time you could relax in the 5th inning.
That's true.
Yesterday.
That's not why.
They put it on the Nationals, and it was nice to enjoy one of those wins. 398 slugging percentage for the team over the last 13 games, which is about 50 points higher than it had been over the previous month and a half. So hopefully they're coming alive offensively, and we know if they do come alive offensively, they're going to get where they want to go because their pitching continues to be, right up there, the best in baseball. The bullpen is now, again, number 2 in team ERA, behind only the Giants in the bullpen category. Trade deadline, by the way, is only 10 days away. Where is all the scuttlebutt? I mean, everybody's making a bunch of guesses, but I'm not hearing anything too concrete yet.
I don't think we will.
What are teams waiting for? Do we have to wait until, the actual deadline is August 1st?
That's interesting because you would think, I guess you're only 3 days out of the break.
I would think you'd start seeing a little movement already.
Because
least hearing
about it. Like the Diamondbacks, they were 47-50 coming out of the break. They won 3 over the weekend, so now they're 50-50. Like, what do you do with them? Do you sell or do you try to go for the
I don't know. They're
card?
4.5 behind the Padres right now. They have a lot of teams to jump. I think whoever figures this out had the Diamondbacks as a 19% chance to make the playoffs right now, but they win 5 more in a row. That's going to go way up.
Yeah.
And, people are talking about, they should trade Eugenio Suarez. I guess, his contract's up at the end of the season, right? But you better get a lot for a guy that hits 2 home runs every game.
Seriously.
Seems like it.
It's crazy.
He's been, absolutely on fire. Zach Gallen, to me, would be a really good trade target. You would think that for a month and a half, Zach Gallen could maybe get it together and pitch well for somebody down the stretch. Anyway.
I think Josh Naylor would be a great addition for a team. Because his contract is up too.
Who did he start his career with? I don't remember.
Oh, I believe it was the Padres.
I'm sure the Padre fans will remind you of that. Xander Bogaerts, though, keeps it rolling. Yesterday at the Grand Slam, giving him a 906 OPS over the last 30 games. So that's a pretty good sample size. He's been one of the best shortstops in all of baseball. And yes, let's celebrate at least what we can. After all, it was getting really, really difficult to defend him.
It was.
And we had to try to defend him. Here's the reason we had to try to defend. Well, the reason you think we had to defend him is because the Padres pay us.
Which is not true.
Right. That's not why. The reason we defended him is because he's going to be and still is the starting shortstop on the club going forward, probably for the next 4 or 5 years at least.
Yeah.
So I figure we might as well root for the guy.
Yeah.
I know he's slumped. I know he was terrible, but right now he's not. So let's enjoy this hot streak. He'll be in there again. Iglesias continues to kind of get that 10th spot or 9th spot. He's not DHing tonight. He's at second base, and Cronenworth will DH as Mike Schilt kind of moves those guys around a little bit. Jackson Merrill, by the way, who missed the game yesterday with illness, is back in today. So he's batting 6th in center field. Maldonado gets the catching slot tonight. And hey, congrats, lost in the shuffle yesterday. Elias Diaz hit his home run for the month of July. So he's now got.
I thought about you.
Yeah, well, he gets one a month. Maldonado gets one a month, and he still hasn't hit one yet in July.
Oh, so it's coming up this week.
He's still due. So that's probably why he's in the lineup tonight for Mike Schilt.
I want to bring up something from Friday because you predicted that Dylan Cease was going to have 10 wins by the end of the season.
And that's why he's not going to get it, right?
I know. He's 3-9, But he had the decision in his hand. He had the win, and Jason Adam comes in, gives up a two-run bomb.
Homer. Yeah. No,
and
Cease pitched. Hey, look,
no decision.
Cease pitched great, right? He had 10 strikeouts.
He was great.
He was buzzing right through. Now, the only thing that hurt him there was the 94 pitches.
Yeah.
Which is why he had to leave in the 6th inning. To me, that's still a little early. I know we've got a whole season ahead, but I think if Cease is pitching like that, I'm not in a rush to get him out of there after 94 pitches, but it all would have worked out. But Jason Adam gave up the rare 2-run homer there.
When I saw that, I was like, "Oh, poor Chris."
That cost Cease a chance to get his 4th win. But yeah, look, all's good for the Padres right now. I mean, this weekend could not have gone any better. Couldn't have gone any better for Scotty Scheffler, Tony's former partner out there. He wins his 4th major, his 2nd this year, and he's almost too good for his own good right now because he's making it flat out boring.
It is.
And he himself doesn't necessarily play the game with a lot of flair. Like when Tiger Woods was winning by 9 shots, 10 shots, you still were engrossed.
Yeah.
You still tuned in to see how incredible this guy was and to watch Tiger just destroy the game.
Yep.
Scotty Scheffler goes about it so methodically that you have to be kind of a golf savant to really appreciate what he does out there. The rest of us don't really appreciate how consistently good he is. And yesterday he got ahead by 7 shots with like 10 holes to go, and then he just cruised in.
Yeah.
Like he didn't even go for a birdie the rest of the way.
No, he didn't need to.
Didn't need to. Par.
And that's another sign of a very veteran golfer is
it's brilliant.
Let me just par my way in and I'll be fine.
If somebody would have taught that to Phil Mickelson 20 years ago.
Yeah, I don't know if he has that gear in him.
He doesn't have it, but if somebody would have taught it to Phil, he'd have 3 or 4 more majors. He used to, Mickelson would get ahead by 5 shots in the last round and be swashbuckling around the course. But Scotty Scheffler just took all the joy. Really,
there was a stat
out of the Open yesterday, and good for him, won it going away.
He did, and there was a stat that tells me how great he is that to the day he tied Tiger Woods for the fastest from their first major to their 4th major, 1,196 to the day. And they asked him after, and Scotty's like, whatever.
Nah, he doesn't.
Like
he Scotty,
when he goes home at night and he's just sitting there, he's got to think, "Wow, that's pretty cool." Like
I don't think so. I think he walks in the door, sits down, and gets the remote, the clicker, and goes, "What do we got on the DVR?" Anything?
Gets his pipe.
Yeah. What do we got on DVR?
Smoking
Anything?
jackets.
His wife goes, "Well, we got a Real Housewives of Miami," and he goes, "Yeah, that's good.
Let's watch it."
Yeah. Scotty seems like kind of a boring guy, and I can still appreciate, great athlete, and he certainly is one. But as far as golf is concerned, they could use somebody with a little more flair at the top.
Yeah.
And they don't have it right now because he's going to be at the top, it looks like, for quite a while.
Yeah.
Because there seems to be a gap between him and the rest of the field.
He's not slowing down. And then when you think about how great, like Tiger Woods won 15 majors.
Yeah.
Scotty Scheffler's won 4, and that's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. He's still got 11 to go to get up into Tiger territory, but I wouldn't put it past Scotty Scheffler. He looked very, very impressive over the weekend. Chris Paul, one of my favorite athletes, speaking of guys, he's reuniting with the Clippers. I don't know if you saw this. He'll be going back to the Clippers for his 21st and what he says final season. The WNBA had their all-star game Saturday night, and they managed to, get themselves embroiled in controversy again.
They can't get out of their own way, honestly.
A little bit. You know how hard I'm rooting for the WNBA.
Too. But just stop talking.
When you're going out there and everybody's wearing T-shirts that say, "Pay us what we're worth," A, I agree with you, but B, the league is apparently losing like $40 million a year. Until the WNBA can create more revenue, the players can't have more revenue. It's just that simple.
Yeah.
I want them to get the money. They deserve the money, but the revenue doesn't seem to indicate that they deserve that money.
I'm sure the owners are making money, though. Maybe the league is losing money, but the owners are making money.
Fair enough on that. I would, if we had more time, we could get into that, but we don't. The show is already over.
What?
Sam Levitt's knocking on the door for the
He's
pregame
literally
show.
staring at us right now.
It's all he
always,
does. He
always.
does
And
this.
he shakes his head like he's in disgust of us for being on the air.
Pregame show. Sam Levitt's got it for you. Padres, Marlins. Skraby and I are back to try it again tomorrow. See ya.